And we welcome you to Fullerton College water polo here on 90.1 KBPK. I'm Ryan Osborne, joined by Mark Pavlovich, and it's good, Mark. We got the first mistake out of the way on my end, but when you want to talk about mistakes, you can't talk about the Orange Empire Conference. And the reason why that is because you have some of the stiffest competition and some of the top-ranked teams in the state in water polo right here playing at Fullerton College. And Mark, when you take a look at it, this Fullerton College team so far coming in at 17-1 looks like a juggernaut.
Well, I tell you what, Gabe's going to get upset with me already. I know we talk about the facility and the quality of the facility, and he gets all fired up on that. But I'm going to go out on the limb already. 17-1. You look at that year that they lost the one game, they were national champs. I think this team has got enough quality, enough depth to recreate that national championship season they had here on 90.1 KBPK. And it really comes down to what they can do. I broke it down a little further than our stats, and I know you go back to them, Ryan, but I broke down mathematically because I went to Cal State University Long Beach, and I love math. Goals per quarter, 3.9 for this team. Now, you realize 3.9 is what it is. They're giving up 1.2. So that's a 2.7 differential for this Fullerton College team per goal. And then you look at they're averaging 2.2 saves per quarter. That's not per game, per quarter. That already looks at it when you look at goals per average for Saddleback, 2.7. So that means Fullerton should win this game by at least 5 goals if you look at it statistically. Goals that they give up per quarter, 2.0 for Saddleback. Saves that they make per quarter, 1.2. If you take those numbers, no matter how well you play, you're behind before the game even starts. And that's what Gabe's got with this water polo team.
You want to talk about Gabriel Martinez. As you see there, Gabriel Martinez directing his squad as they get set for this matchup against Saddleback. That's right, the Bobcats are here in town in Fullerton as we get set for action here live from the Fullerton College pool. Ryan Osborne joined by Mark Pavlovich, and over to our left is Jerry Roque as we get set for this one. Both teams going to line up on your left or near side of the screen. As you will see, Fullerton College will be in the blue caps. They will be going from the bottom of your screen towards the top, or if you're looking at it from the scorers table, left to right. On the other side for Saddleback, it will end up being a case of being in the white caps, going from the top of your screen towards the bottom. So both teams will race away looking for the opening draw between both of these two sides, and Fullerton will win it back. Jordan Lughart wants to start off quickly. She's going to take the ball and go towards the left point, looking for a teammate, looking for Nikki Salerno. There's a foul, and Fullerton College is going to control once more.
You talk about Lughart getting it. Leading scorer for this team so far this season, 43 goals. Ryan, now you know why she runs the offense.
There's Lughart looking for a teammate just inside. It goes to De La Mora, but De La Mora sees that one taken off the line by Calypso Fish, and Saddleback with their first save of the game. So on the other way, or going the other way, go the Bobcats. They're trying to get in quickly. Little jostle there, and Fullerton will take over, trying to get in on goal. Just a few moments ago was Akemi Nakachi, but she was unsuccessful and turns the ball over. So Alex Aratim, goaltender for the Fullerton College Hornets with a 63 save percentage, which is fantastic for her. And anyone in the state of California will end up seeing this one go over to Salerno. Salerno on the turnaround shot, trying to get control, takes a shot, and it goes off the crossbar. So the score stays the same at 0s. And a 28 goes on the clock for Saddleback.
So you've already seen the Hornets go to their top 2 scorers on this team trying to get on the board, both with 43 goals this season. The only difference between Lughart and Salerno are the amount of assists.
Under 5 to shoot for the Bobcats. They turn it right back over, and Fullerton wants to break. Up ahead, it goes to Sophia Martinez. Martinez quickly picked up there by Malia Abrahamian. And Abrahamian is going to end up getting an exclusion on that. So she ends up dunking Martinez there for a moment, and she will end up being sent off, and Fullerton will play a person up. There's a shot by Salerno, goes off the hand of Saddleback, and a Bobcat is able to tip that away. That's Carson McKenzie, and that pretty much takes away the exclusion time for the Bobcats.
So this is something we don't normally see for this Hornet team playing against a team that's playing tight defense as they come up and put their press against the Bobcats. This is one thing I love about this Hornet team, the height that they come out from the goal.
You talk about that, Lughart right there with high pressure. Little floater there that's attempted, goes over top of the goal for Aaliyah Burns, and no score. It remains with 5:25 left to go here in the first. Ball goes over towards the right-hand side of the frame. There's a little drop shot right over top. That's going to be a goal for Jordan Lughart, and she gets her first of this one.
Yeah, and we're going to give Torres the assist on that one. So now Lughart's got 44 goals, and Torres now has 13 assists for the season.
You take a look at that shot mark, just going against the green, trying to pick that top left corner, and is able to do so. Little rainbow that ends up finding its spot as Salerno is going to end up hitting the bench for Fullerton College. So Saddleback has a chance to set up. Once again, Saddleback will be going from north to south on your screen, as is the case here at Fullerton College. Ball switched over. It goes over to Nakachi. Nakachi looking for a teammate, and a takeaway there for Jordan Lughart. Here's one of the things that Fullerton College does oh so well. They are able to get out quickly and move into transition as fast as possible. Adriana Wong is going to take that one. There's a foul, so they'll have to reset for a moment. Chance there for Ellerbrock. Ellerbrock right at the point, wants to take a shot, goes off the crossbar once more. And Saddleback is able to stop Fullerton College offense from getting on the board.
So Haluska came out of the pool for the Hornets. Gabe Martinez talked to her when she came out. I love Wong. Wong, one of the leading assist people for this Hornet team.
Near side, Saddleback trying to set something up. They have Hickson. Hickson looking for the far post. It goes off of it. Airtim is going to chase after on a windy day here in Fullerton, and the Hornets look to break up. Jordan Lughart, after Salerno ends up going to the bench for the Hornets, will end up going to the far side of the pool, and taking over on the near side is Martinez. However, Lughart will turn it over there.
We're sitting at 1-0. Little different feel right now for this Hornet team. Usually we're accustomed to maybe three goals in a game so far.
I mean, you were talking about it at the start of the broadcast. Just by averages alone, Fullerton College looked pretty good in terms of starting out games. There's a shot that goes off the back post. It's going to be rebounded there for a second by Aaliyah Burns, and that will lead to a foul and another chance here. A shot for Hickson goes off the crossbar. She ended up beating Alex Aritam, but it goes off the crossbar and it stays at a 0 score for the Bobcats.
And Marin Hickson is the leading scorer for this Saddleback team with 35 goals, 25 assists, and 29 steals on the season. So she's the go-getter offensively for the Bobcats in the pool.
You can see Fullerton College setting up here. Alternate angle here for the Hornets. Sees the spacing for Fullerton College as that will lead to another foul and a chance for the Hornets to set up with Martinez. Martinez tries to go backdoor but can't get it over to Carmen Liberto in time. Losing a cap there, and tossing it aside is Martinez. And here goes Saddleback trying to get up the pool as quickly as possible. They've got Nakachi. Nakachi right down the middle. Nakachi gets caught, and she'll switch it back over to Brielle Horner. Horner looking for a teammate, finally has one. Far side of the pool, it goes to Emma Jimenez. Jimenez scooting back with under 10 seconds to go on the shot clock. And Fullerton once more is going to get called for a foul and a chance inside. There's a goal. Beautiful setup there, 1-2-3. It goes to Aaliyah Burns, and Burns is able to get Saddleback on the board.
So that's Burns' 28th goal of the season. This is somebody that can shoot and steal. 28 goals, 26 steals on that. I didn't see who had an assist, so I don't know who to give it to.
Looked like it was Jimenez on the far side, so it goes and reads Burns from Jimenez with 2:19 on the clock left here in the first.
And that gives Jimenez her 9th assist for the season for the Bobcats.
And credit to Saddleback as well for setting that up so quickly right off of the foul for Fullerton College. Fullerton gets called for it, and immediately Saddleback goes right on the attack. And this is the closest that we've seen a team play Fullerton College, at least in the time that we've been here for KBPK. This is going to go inside of Kate De La Mora, and she will lose the ball. Out and ahead, there goes Saddleback. The Bobcats in the clear. They've got a chance there with Katie Butler.
And I think they're going to call that against Lechuga, who basically had to dunk her.
She prevented an open scoring chance, and it will lead to a penalty shot coming up for Katie Butler. Butler so far with 10 goals this season tries to go left post, but instead making the save successfully is Alex Aratam. So Aratam keeps it at a level 1-1 game. Here's Kate De La Mora trying to spin over to her right, gets fouled, looking for a teammate. She's got Lughart over to her right if she wants it. Martinez on the far side. She'll end up taking the ball away. Akemi Nakachi trying to break up into the clear. You can hear the Saddleback Bobcat supporters in the stands over to our left as everyone tries to set up here. Near side of the pool, Riley Jackson gets called for a foul. She's going to have to retreat. Near side, it goes to Marin Hickson. There's a chance here as an exclusion comes up, and another 6-on-5 chance for the Bobcats. That goes against Lughart. Trying to set things up with 15 seconds. There's a shot, and it's in.
And that all starts because Nakachi gets her 36th steal of the season. She leads this Bobcat team, and once they do that, Ryan, they get the advantage when they get the exclusion in the pool.
So you mentioned that exclusion. That's huge for Saddleback. We just talked about it a few moments prior, where you get the foul on Fullerton College and immediately go on the attack and set something up. It leads to a goal. And Katie Butler just a few moments ago had a penalty shot that didn't end up working, but it turns into another opportunity.
Well, Ryan, didn't mean to interrupt you, but you watch Aaliyah Burns, who's down low. They almost have a spy right in front of the goalie when you watch Aaliyah Burns down there. She's picking up as we get a penalty shot. And Saddleback gives up a penalty shot to the Hornets, who score.
That'll be Jordan Lughart who ends up getting the penalty shot for Fullerton. Nikki Salerno was the one who drew it on that far side, went inside of the red and was able to get the penalty shot drawn. And Fullerton College is sitting at a 2-2 tie coming up with 30 seconds left in the first. Riley Jackson close in. They try and go to center, and it goes to Carson McKenzie. McKenzie with a chance, but instead the Bobcats will end up seeing Fullerton have one last chance to end this first quarter with under 20 seconds to play. Now what we've seen from this is that Airtem usually will hold it, and then with about 10 seconds left, give it up to a teammate. That's exactly what happens. Here's Riley Jackson. Jackson's going to have to work quick, tries to go over to De La Mora, and instead De La Mora gets called for a foul. And with 3 seconds on the clock, now down to 2, there's a long shot that will end up being fired by Carson McKenzie, but instead it actually brings us to the end of the first quarter of play. So both teams are going to end up swimming over to their respective benches. And Mark, you take a look at the first quarter of play here on 90.1 KBPK, and it just seemed like the Bobcats were able to kind of set the pace of play to where they wanted it to go.
Well, yeah, you look at the 2 goals that are scored by the Hornets. Jordan Lughart scored both of them. She now has 45 for the season, but she was the vocal point. Salerno had opportunities, but just couldn't get the ball into the net. Torres got 2 of the assists out there, so that gives her 14 assists for the season. when you look at what's going on. On the other side, I think defensively you've got to watch the way that the Bobcats set up, and they really did put somebody down low, and they put a spy down there. Aaliyah Burns just sat in front of the net and made sure that she would take away the middle and those close shots, and she's there to take away the skip shot that is very popular for this Hornet team. So we're sitting at 2 right now, Ryan, and it looks like this is going to be that back and forth game. Both goalies have played well. They haven't given up anything easy to either one of the teams. So you look at Airtam for the Hornets. When you look at it, a 94.4 win percentage, and then Calypso Fish for the Bobcats, which a 53 win percentage. She's got a 37 save percentage here on 90.1 KBPK. Jerry Roquet, Ryan Osborne. Ryan, I guess it's time you come back and get us ready for game number 2. Quarter number 2. I'm speeding this up a little, aren't I?
You are indeed, but that's okay because both teams are getting set for them to face off here in just a couple of moments. Jerry Roquet will join us here on the broadcast momentarily to talk about what the feeling is in the pool from either of these two teams as we get set for quarter number 2. And Jerry, you were able to hear a lot of the talk here at the pool as Fullerton College is currently tied with the Bobcats at 2 apiece.
I did, and one of the main things that Coach Martinez was talking about while I was over there is that right now they don't seem to be executing to the level that they have been in these past few games. As we've seen in the past few games, they've been able to produce very, very quickly on offense, been very, very high on pressing defensively, and right now Coach Martinez just isn't too happy with how they've been performing, and Saddleback's been doing a great job finding those open nets and open pockets that Fullerton normally has covered. So one of the main things that he's been harping them right now is making sure we're playing our fundamentals, making sure we're in position, and doing the right things that we need to do in order to come out with a W.
Thank you much, Jerry. We appreciate it as we get set for Saddleback taking over. And one thing that Jerry mentioned there, Mark, just a few moments ago is the execution. We've talked to Coach Gabriel Martinez about the execution that his staff usually has the ability to provide, but like Jerry said, it just seems like they're not able to really get off any of those crisp offensive plays that we're used to.
Well, yeah, and again, you know, you finally saw Adriana Wong, who is the leading assist person for this team, get the ball in her hand, and then there was an exclusion against Braille Horner for Saddleback. That allowed Wong to get on the board, and now the Hornets have a 3-2 lead.
Aaliyah Burns just a few moments ago bringing the ball under the water. She ends up getting called on the turnover as the Hornets try and move it the other way. Jordan Lunghart out wide, looking for a teammate, has one inside, looking for Nada Torres. Torres off the crossbar, doesn't work. There's a chance there for Martinez. Martinez one-on-one, tries to get it over top of the goal. Can't do so as Fish makes the save. Fullerton still with possession. They've got a 28 here. Martinez goes for a shot on the far post, and she will connect. So a frantic, hectic pace here in the last few moments there, Mark, leads to a Fullerton College goal. And that was Adriana Wong that ends up getting that goal there for Fullerton. And you were talking about Wong earlier. She's excellent in terms of getting the ball to an open person for her teammate. And Wong right there is able to find an open lane.
Yeah, and if you watch Wong out here too, she plays the right wing in the pool, but she drifts to the middle.
Ball inside. Turnover there for Saddleback, and Jordan Lunghart wants to move up the pool quickly. If Fullerton can hurry, they've got a 4-on-2. Here's Salerno. Salerno looking for someone. It's Wong. Wong, another chance. There's another goal. So Fullerton College comes up firing here in the first 2 minutes of this second quarter. And Mark, you take a look at a person you just talked about in Adriana Wong. She has another opportunity, and it seems like she's able to work with very limited space.
Yeah, and she has now had all 3 goals in this second quarter, giving her 39 goals for the season. She's getting up there on top. Again, Ryan, when you watch her, she likes the right side of the pool. Nobody's forcing her to take a different angle on that shot. So she has been the one that's listened to Gabe Martinez being the aggressor. Of course, she did that on defense too right there.
You see from the corner here, they're trying to go into the center. They don't end up getting anything. Out and away, it goes to Salerno. Salerno looking the other way for Martinez. Martinez trying to catch up to it. Martinez got caught from behind, and it's going to be a penalty shot coming up. She got caught from behind by Nakachi. Nakachi brings her underneath the water and immediately gives Fullerton College yet another chance to get on the board. So you see on your screen on your left is Jordan Lughart. Lughart, to this point in the season, 43 goals, and she isn't able to convert on that one.
Too much water on the bounce shot is what happened there, where you try to skim it like you skim a rock. She went in too deep. It slowed down the ball, and it let Calypso Fish be able to make a save on it.
Hold on the far side of the pool allows for Fullerton College to take over, but they immediately turn it right back over to Saddleback. Saddleback will take over with Brielle Horner. Horner's going to have to take a couple strides back. Looking for someone far side. Ariana Reyes ends up getting called for a foul, and it might lead to a timeout, it looks like.
And you're right, Ryan, and we do. We have a timeout with 4 minutes, almost 5 minutes to go in this quarter, with the Hornets up by 3, 5-2, here on 90.1 KBPK. Ryan, the pace has picked up on both ends of the pool. The action has gone faster while you're calling the action there. I think that might be the difference in this game.
Yeah, and you take a look at just the way that the spacing has also turned out. Mark, you were talking about the high pressure there by Saddleback in the first quarter. We saw them set up defensively and pick up Fullerton College before they had a chance to get it over to the wing or to the flat. So whenever Fullerton would bring the ball up the pool, they'd get it to the point, and immediately Saddleback would pressure heavily on the on the wing and the flat, so that way Fullerton couldn't set anything up the way that they like to. They couldn't get into their natural rhythm of their offense, and it disrupted things for Fullerton College. Now here in the second quarter, you're seeing Fullerton with a lot more off-ball movement to get themselves open and create their own space.
Yeah, and I like that fact that you brought that up, Ryan, because you see Wong, who is the assist leader for this Fullerton team, would come down on the right side, had nobody to drop the ball off to quickly, so you didn't have the fast attack that you've gotten for the Hornets. And the fact that you bring up what you saw, the defense smothering from Saddleback, that's a great example on why they didn't get off on a quick start.
So Fullerton College took the timeout just a few moments ago, which means that they're going to get a fresh 28 to work with. Ball goes in, and it will start the clock right back up with 5 minutes exactly left here in the second. Eritim, right at the halfway point, will find Salerno. Salerno tries to put a body on just to create some open space. There's a chance and a cross-goal shot that is converted on by Neda Torres.
And again, Torres has an assist and a goal. That gives her 38 goals. She's got 13 assists because she's got a goal and an assist in this game. So 3 people have been the vocal points for this Hornet water polo team today.
Mark, you take a look at what Fullerton College did on that last one to create some open space. You saw Salerno and Torres both swim into their defender and then bounce off of it, almost like a step back for people who like basketball. You create that space by going into your defender and then moving yourself back on a fadeaway. Same thing there. You get that shot because you create your space, you back off the defender, and then you're able to use your arm to its full extension. Fullerton the other way after a turnover by the Bobcats. And Fullerton says, you know what, we'll give it right back over. Emma Jimenez. She has the ball near side of the pool. Martinez, heavy pressure. Martinez tries to get over towards the right hand. There's a beautiful passing play over to Burns. She bounces it off the crossbar. Burns with a great chance there, Mark, but it ends up hitting the pool, hits the top of the crossbar, and comes right back down.
Yeah, and you look at her with 27 goals. Again, we've seen 2 shots here. Now the water has been miscalculated on where the ball should hit.
There's Ellerbrock. Ellerbrock, a chance, it's deflected in.
Okay, I've got to ask you. I mean, did it look like she gave a little shoulder to get separation on the defender?
That's exactly what it looked like. She was just trying to get herself a little bit of space, and like you mentioned, dips the shoulder, creates that space, and then is able to elevate herself because of the space that she creates. We might get a timeout here on the other side for the Bobcats as they're all going to swim to their side of the pool with 3:32 left to go here in quarter number 2. You are watching Fullerton College Water Polo here on 90.1 KBPK. I'm Ryan Osborne, and I'm joined to my right by Mark Pavlovich, and over to our left on camera and as the sideline reporter is Jerry Roque. As we watch live here with Fullerton College leading it 7-2. At the end of one, this was a 2-2 game. And both sides really not able to take command of the game, but Saddleback was kind of dictating what the pace and flow of it was. But now you switch it over to the second quarter, and it has been pretty much all Fullerton.
Well, when you talk about pace and flow, that's what's going on here as your Fullerton College student athletes are all in. That's right. United in serving their campus and local communities by supporting causes that make a difference. What's happening now with All In? Well, food drive for Fullerton College. Chris Lamb and Tony Du Bois Walker Memorial Food Bank. The food bank has experienced a large increase in the number of students here that need food from the food bank. So make sure you drop off your donations at the PE division office or at the gate of the FC home athletic contest. Canned fruit, rice, pasta, dried fruit, veggies, powdered milk, cereal, you name it, what you can donate, because there's a lot of students out there, Ryan, that don't have enough to eat.
You mentioned that, Mark. That's one of the things that has been a big focal point for Fullerton College and the athletic program is making sure that they create awareness like this, and having the opportunity to have this type of food drive here at the pool is incredibly important when you talk about community college sports, because the first word in that right there is community. And Fullerton College continues to try and reach out to their community, not just here on campus, but in the immediate outreach around campus as well. Aaliyah Burns is going to take the ball the other way. Little floater right over top of Eritam, and she's able to get that to go.
And look at Burns now with 28 goals in this. The freshman being a standout for this Saddleback team is just playing well. Realize last time Saddleback played against Pasadena, they won that game 14-0 in their last match against Pasadena City College.
She had the opening goal for Saddleback as well, so you add that opening goal plus the one right there, she's now at 29. One away from a 30-goal season as a freshman. There's a foul the other way on the far side of the pool, ends up going against Emma Jimenez, and Fullerton will take over with Lughart. Lughart wants to find Wong. Wong stretches back out for it. Now trying to push in with 20 seconds on the shot clock. Battling in front, looking for the ball is Kate De La Mora, and De La Mora gets called for a foul. De La Mora was in a big battle right in front of the goal with Brielle Horner, and Horner ends up going underneath the water, caused by De La Mora, and it will turn the ball over to Saddleback. Bobcats wanting to send up, down by 4. Still within reach here if you are a Saddleback Bobcat fan. There's a chance a shot goes off the bar, but inside. There's a hold, and it's going to give Fullerton College the ball.
You watched Horner try to take that one. She'll go down low, and then she'll right in the middle once again. So they're bringing their defense up higher against the Hornets, not allowing them to get down low for an attack against the goalie.
Kate De La Mora. 2 people on her, and she's able to get a foul. Goes back over to De La Mora. Only 6 seconds on the shot clock. Looking for the ball, looking for a teammate, trying to find someone in Ellerbrock, and it ends up getting dumped in away, and it will go into the awaiting arms of Hickson.
Give Horner credit on that, Ryan. You've already mentioned her twice, and she played smothering defense at their end of the pool to take the ball away and get a steal against the Hornets.
Swung over to Carson McKenzie. McKenzie wants Burns, but Wong is there on the defense. You talked about Wong just a few moments ago, but Burns comes back for this ball. She's able to outswim a couple of Hornets and retakes possession. Now Burns turns around. There's a quick shot as Eritem is able to make the save once more. Chance there was created by Emma Jimenez. And Mark, just the tenacity of the Bobcats on that last play allows for them to have 2 straight opportunities inside.
Yeah, and you watch Horner down low. You got to realize she leads the Bobcats in steals with 35. What a great save by Calypso Fish, who rises up out of the water to knock that down.
17 games played for Fish. She has over 70 saves at this point. Save percentage of over 40%. Here's a chance for Jimenez. Jimenez gets caught from behind, but there is a foul. And are they going to say exclusion as well? Nope, they're going to allow for Jimenez to release and get over towards the ball. Only has 10 seconds on the shot clock, however. Emma Jimenez looking for someone. Can't get it over to a teammate inside to Burns. Wanted Burns, can't find her. Goes to Hickson. Hickson with a shot that ends up going wide. The high pressure for Fullerton College forces that ball to end up not being the quality that the Bobcats would have liked, and that sends us to the half. So at the end of 2 quarters of play, it's 7-3 Fullerton College with the lead. You are watching Fullerton College Water Polo here on 90.1 KBPK. Ryan Osborne, Mark Pavlovich, joined by Jerry Roque. And Mark, at the end of 2 quarters, definitely not where we thought we would be going into the half.
Well, no, but the difference was really for the Hornets, Adriana Wong, who came up and found people open and then made shots herself. That's what allowed to do it. I mean, you look at Jordan Lughart being who she is and who she's been all season long. And then Eritam in goal, we're not even mentioning her, Ryan, but she's only given up 3 goals in this game. And I have to say, I think the Bobcats had more than one ample opportunity to be much closer in this game than they are right now.
And you mentioned that you look at Eritam and how well she's positioned. Just go back to that shot that ends up going off the pool and ends up skipping off the top of the crossbar. She gets a hand on that and deflects it down so that way it doesn't have the opportunity to go directly into the goal. You've seen her multiple times stay square to shots. Just a few moments ago, the shot by Jimenez from far out. She goes up with 2 hands to make sure that there's no opportunity for that ball to squeak by her.
Yeah, and the other thing we've seen now is a little miscalculation by both these teams in shooting the ball. It's a little windy out here, so you've got a slight little choppiness in the water, and we've seen them throw the ball short on a skip shot by both teams, so therefore you're not getting that glancing shot to go towards the goalie, and that's one of the things that I think the score would have been a little higher if the calculation would have been a little crisper by the shooters for either the Bobcats or the Hornets here on 90.1 KBPK.
And we get a team comparison here at the half as well, Mark. You talked about it before this matchup started. Fullerton College, 284 goals to 211 for the Bobcats. However, you want to talk about steals. The Bobcats, with how aggressive they are, and we talked about it early on in the broadcast, 234 to 227 of Fullerton College. This is a Bobcats team that thrives on going out there and forcing you to not be comfortable when you set up.
Well, and what you watch them play too is they're very physical in the water. You can watch where you splash and push and everything else, but you have watched it. And Ryan, I'm going to go back to the one shot I looked at you. We saw a Fullerton College player, basically it would be a push off in football. It would be hitting a body in baseball. In ice hockey, well, it might be an illegal cross check to try and get somebody open. But dropping the shoulder, going into the defender, getting that opening, then making the shot, I think that's one of the more impressive shots we've seen in the pool today.
It has been, and one of the things that you've also noticed, Mark, is that both of these two teams realize that it's not just physicality that's going to get them to win the day, but we've also seen those little rainbow off-pace shots for both teams. We've seen it work for Fullerton College right over top of the goalkeeper. Then on the other side for Saddleback, you saw one goal go in from just outside of 8 meters. And it just seemed like both teams have realized, yes, the physicality is good, but in order to win this game, we also have to bring a variety of shots.
Yeah, you know what? I find that real interesting because I keep thinking, where's the power? And you've talked about the finesse that has allowed the Hornets to be in front by 4 goals right now.
Yeah, and you take a look at both of these two teams. Once again, 11-8 for the Bobcats entering today, 17-1 for Fullerton College. 211 goals for Saddleback to 284 for Fullerton. And at the very bottom, something that Mark was talking about earlier, the saves for both of these two squads. Calypso Fish and Abigail Wallace combining for 114 saves. And then Fullerton College with their main goalkeeper, Alex Aratam, in addition to Adriana Wong and Nikki Salerno, who have also gotten opportunities to be in goal for Fullerton, combining for 155 saves to this point. And actually, one thing I do want to point out here, Mark, and I'm sure the camera will pick it up at some point later on in this match, but the overall turnout that we see here at Fullerton College, here at the pool, consistently you see fans from both sides, whether it be Fullerton College, Cypress like we saw a few weeks ago, even when Riverside visits as well, you see a lot of fans coming out to support community college athletes in water polo.
Well, I tell you what, great games is something for free, is something everybody should take advantage of on a community college level, be it water polo, football, lacrosse, you name it. This has been exciting. Student athletes playing each other hard and tough, and yet we're going to get the chance to watch all these young women go to the next levels in their sport, and then one day find out who's the next one with a PhD that discovered something we never thought would be discovered. All attributed to them being student athletes on a community college team.
Whistle blows, which means that both of these two teams are going to chase after the ball. Fullerton College is going to concede the opener here, as they will end up fighting for it on the far side. Hornets nearly with the takeaway, but it's going to end up going over to the outstretched arm of Brielle Horner. Horner at the point, looking for the flat. She will end up finding someone. That ends up going to Riley Spruth. Spruth, far side, goes to Katie Butler. Katie Butler pressured heavily by Wong. 7 seconds left. It goes to the centerman and pops back out. Other side, it goes for a shot attempt there by Abrahamian, and Abrahamian will send that one wide.
Don't you think the parents from Saddleback are thinking the young women for the Bobcats are holding on to the ball just a little too long? And these are fans that have watched this team. So I think Saddleback needs to get a quicker shot to get back into this games.
Big battle here in center, as it ends up being Nada Torres and Brielle Horner both going up one-on-one. It goes over to Nada Torres. Nada Torres backing up. Little finesse shot right over top, and it goes in.
Deja vu, Mr. Osborne. You've been talking about, really, Ryan, you've been talking how the finesse shots have been the shots that are getting into the goal.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Both of these two teams are not only picking corners, they're going over top of the goalkeeper. We've seen them try and go to the skip multiple times. It's like you were talking about. What we're used to from Fullerton College is that overpowering stuff. We saw it against Cypress. We saw it against Golden West. But what you're actually seeing in this matchup is both of these two teams realizing overpowering your opponent just isn't going to get you a win in this one. You've got to be able to create with different shots. There's a foul that goes against Saddleback. That will end up getting called on Katie Butler. The other way, Fullerton College with a big battle. Nikki Salerno gets that one taken away from her by Burns. Burns has had a really nice matchup so far, as she has 2 goals and has won the ball 3 different times.
And again, Wong draws the foul, which allows Fullerton to get the ball back. So we're going to get timeout.
Timeout by Coach Gabriel Martinez on the far side of the pool, as he wants a chance for his team to kind of reset themselves for a moment. So not necessarily one of those times where you end up looking at a coach and saying, hey, you're going to draw something up here, but more like this is an opportunity for them to break and set up their offense. There's Lughart. Everyone's stationary for a moment. Fullerton with a lot of clock to work with in terms of shot. There's Wong, a chance, and it's in.
Goal number 4 for Adriana today. And again, Ryan, I keep bringing up, look, she's on the right side of the pool. She loves that right hand, using that in her power. She'll drift a little over into the middle every once in a while, but she has had the shot on goal, and they've gone to the hot hand.
So restart here with 6:15 to play here in the third quarter. You talk about the hot hand. It's a credit to this Fullerton College program as well. They have so many different attackers that they can go to in terms of scoring. You talk about Wong being one of the leaders here. There's a chance, and Airtam gets a hand on it. They're going to say that that ends up going off of Airtam's hand. Airtam will end up getting credit for a save, but going back to what we were talking about, Fullerton College with 3 different players who are in the top 10 of scoring in the state of California, and it really helps the Hornets because they have a lot of balance that they can go to when something's not working. Mark was talking about it at the start of the broadcast. Fullerton College trying to work more with Riley Jackson and Salerno, and instead, as this goes cross the crease, or excuse me, cross goal, it will go to the far side of the pool where it is converted on there by Malia Abrahamian.
And that's her 9th goal of the season. There's one of those power skip shots that we have talked about that we haven't seen a lot of in this game.
And you look at the ball movement there by the Bobcats. They had 4 different passes within the span of 6 seconds, and it finishes off with a goal. They were able to space out Fullerton College defensively and got the opportunity that they wanted. There's Wong. Wong trying to look for a teammate. Finds someone streaking in. It's Martinez. Martinez gets caught from behind, and that might end up being a penalty shot for Fullerton College once more, and it is, because there was a clear chance there for Sophia Martinez, and she gets caught from behind and fouled by Carson McKenzie. And it will lead to Lughart having another chance. And like you were talking about on the last penalty shot, Mark, too much water the first time, too much water the second time.
Yeah, it's that shot that you're comfortable with. That's the shot you're going to take.
It's going to be a foul. Brielle Horner with it. Horner looking for someone. She's got Spruth. Spruth looking for Horner once more. Salerno in a battle, trying to find someone. 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Fullerton College trying to work out fast. That ball ends up going too far away, and Coach Gabriel Martinez says, hey, let's work fast. They have a chance here with Wong. It's a 2-on-1 for Fullerton College if they can hurry. Wong in 1-on-1. She gets caught from behind there by Spruth. Wong still inside looking for someone. Finds Salerno, who gets that one shot saved. Calypso Fish stands tall for the Bobcats, and Fullerton College gets the ball back, but an excellent save there by Calypso Fish.
Yeah, and really a nice offensive move. And I tell you what do you do? If you miss it once, you go back again and say, hey, if you can't hit that one, hit this one. And that's exactly what you get from the Hornets on Nikki Salerno putting that one back in.
That time, Fullerton College was able to set up the way that they wanted, as Fullerton's going to end up sending out Nada Torres and Sofia Martinez. Coming in will be Kate De La Mora, in addition to Samantha Lechuga. We haven't seen much of Lechuga so far in this one. We saw a lot of her in that matchup against Golden West College. But she gets an opportunity here as Jimenez gets pressured high by Salerno. Now Burns. Burns looking for someone. Now high floater over towards the left-hand side. She'll find Nakachi. Nakachi with under 10 seconds. Here's Burns. Burns, a skipper that ends up skipping twice, hits the post and goes wide. So the frame has stood tall for both of these two teams, or at least against them, as 5 different posts have been hit, and it has led to no goal on all 5. Make it 6 as this goes off the crossbar. And the other way, the Bobcats try and regain possession. They can't. Kate De La Mora is able to get to it in time. And then Adriana Wong is going to be called for a foul inside the yellow.
And, of course, you can relate to hitting the post. You were watching hockey last night. It sort of makes you feel like you're watching the same game right now.
Yeah, but both of these offenses work a lot better than what I saw last night, Mark, as Burns gets another shot opportunity. She has had a really nice match here, Mark. Burns, for Saddleback with 4 shots, 2 goals, 3 takeaways.
But Airtown makes another great save. To watch her rise out of the water, Ryan, is just amazing, and she has outthought all the offensive players for the Bobcats, as the Hornets will maintain on a lot of physicality against the Bobcats down low.
De La Mora trying to catch up to it before the clock expires, but it ends up buzzing before she can. 2:45 to play here in the third quarter, and it's 10-4. Hornets still with the lead. Saddleback looking for Burns inside. Burns wasn't expecting that pass. Not quite yet, at least, and it will end up going over to Airtown. Airtown with no pressure, now being told to send it over far to Lughart. Lughart, right side of the pool. There's a foul that will end up going against Fullerton College and Amanda Ellerbrock. Near side, Jimenez. Jimenez one-on-one for a moment. Jimenez, little floater, tries to go for it. Doesn't put enough height on it, and Fullerton College will take it with Salerno. Salerno trying to swim past Jimenez. She gets caught by Jimenez. Nice piece of swimming there by Jimenez to catch up to her in time. And they'll switch back over to Ellerbrock near side. You see Ellerbrock there on your screen trying to set up to her right hand. Tries to find Kate De La Mora. De La Mora, with 2 people inside marking her, will allow for Calypso Fish to take over. Jimenez has a lot of open room to work with. Fullerton College trying to get back in transition. Now the Bobcats with it. Far side of the pool. Getting dunked under there for a moment was Hickson, and that will lead to an exclusion.
Now Lechuga, a little too physical.
They end up sending off Jordan Lughart on the exclusion, so that means that coming up in just a moment, you're going to see Saddleback work a person up, and they're going to bring in a substitution here in a moment, as it will be Carson McKenzie who comes in. So with Carson McKenzie coming in, what we've seen so far from McKenzie is she'll set up shop right in front of the goal mark, and you'll take Burns out of that centerman position and take her more towards the flat. And what that does for you is it gives you a lot more power arms in the pool for the Saddleback Bobcats, and they can kind of stretch out where they'd like to go.
Torres comes back in for Gabe, so he likes how she plays the high defense person on this. Great deal of arms, does it that way. You see Hams going down low, just missed. Good rebound. Off the top, and then an excellent block on a ball that comes off the top. Bounces in favor of the Bobcats, and Airtown gets her hand up. She is just playing outstanding in goal today for the Hornets.
She read where that ball was going to end up bouncing off of, too. Didn't spend too much time looking for it as soon as it passed right by her. So this is going to end up going inside, taken away there by Wong. Wong gets the inside position, and she will scoop it back to Airtown.
Adriana right now is my vocal point and the player of this game, defensively and offensively for this Hornet team.
Martinez with a little bit of extra room to work with. Goes one-on-one, gets blocked from behind by Aaliyah Burns. And as we were talking about Wong just for a few moments ago for Fullerton College, being that player of the match to this point, Burns has been the person that Saddleback has been able to look to. 20 seconds left in the third quarter of play. It's 10-4. The Hornets and the Bobcats battling it out here in Fullerton. Hornets trying to maintain possession of that lead. Far side, and moves to Hickson. Hickson scooting back for a second. She's only got 10 seconds left, basically in the shot and game clock. Taken over by Wong. Wong wants to get up in a hurry. She's only got 2 seconds left. Here's one. She takes a shot, goes in the air, and ends up on the goal line. A save is made by Calypso Fish, but that is going to bring us to the end of the third quarter of play. And as we go into the fourth, it is 10-4, Fullerton College with a 6-goal lead. You are watching Fullerton College Water Polo here on 90.1 KBPK.
Don't forget tomorrow on our sister station, sportsnetusa.net, a little Fullerton College football. San Bernardino Valley will take on the Hornets, and this is conference play tomorrow, Ryan Osborne. And the Hornets need to get off to a strong start if they want to be thought about in any state playoffs as this season goes along. Quarterback for San Bernardino in the southern section right now leads all quarterbacks in passing yards. We'll see what happens tomorrow. That'll be 7 o'clock tomorrow night on sportsnetusa.net.
You mentioned that, Mark. It's a very different look for Fullerton College playing on Thursdays, but we've seen in each of the two matchups that they've had against San Bernardino Valley with the Wolverines going into that conference with Fullerton College, both have been played on a Thursday. Last year it was on Thursday. In the second week of October, same thing here.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting thing. You look at this, I really have to keep talking about Wong. She just came up with another steal. So you look at her, she's in the mid-30s in goals. She's at the beginning 30s in assists. She's now in the beginning 30s in steals altogether. And then you've got to say Jordan Lughart, well, would you call her the quarterback for this Hornet water polo team?
So far, yeah. When you take a look at her positioning and especially the way that she sets up the offense, you'll see her not exactly at the top of the point, but just a little bit over towards the left of it. So she'll set up there to her right hand, which means that she has an excellent opportunity to see everywhere in the pool. Doesn't have to move too much to her left to be able to see over to her left shoulder, and on her right, she's able to go to her strong side. So she's kind of able to dictate where Fullerton College goes offensively just based on where her first few passes go to.
And you look at the score, 10-4. We kept saying it was starting off slow, but the Hornets have done what the Hornets have done all year long. Build up a lead when you just don't think it's happening.
Just when you take a look at that end of first and over towards the start of the second, we saw the end of the first finish 2-2 with Saddleback College taking the lead. And it just seemed like Saddleback was able to dictate how things were going to play. They were able to dictate spacing as well. And then all of a sudden, Fullerton College with 3 straight goals, all by Wong, in the second quarter to take the lead, and they haven't looked back since. Saddleback had a nice little run towards the middle part of the third, but if they are going to get back into this one, they've got to be able to convert on their first couple of possessions. Here's a chance for Saddleback. Only 5 seconds left. There's a shot, and Aratam says, you know what, I'll receive that with one hand and move the offense up and forward. Here's Salerno. Salerno the other way has Lughart in the clear right in front of her if she can get it over. Instead, she goes to Nada Torres, who goes behind her back with a shot. Goes off the crossbar, and it ends up going out. Torres, Lughart still looking for it. Lughart keeps possession. As there's a foul, she's going to have to move it back to Salerno. And it's actually going to be an exclusion coming up, as on the far side of the pool, Ariana Reyes will see that one go just outside. So the exclusion takes place, and Fullerton gets a long shot that hits the crossbar, stays on the line, but doesn't fully cross. That's the biggest thing. Sometimes people who watch water polo on occasion, Mark, is they'll watch it and they'll say, hey, didn't that go in the goal? I saw it basically in the center of the frame. But you have to remember that the official goes to the goal line and makes sure that the entire ball crosses the plane to be able to call it a goal. Foul the other way. Here's Nada Torres. Torres with Wong. Wong wants her to move up and forward. She has excellent spacing here. And that's going to stop things for a moment. You can hear the groans in behind us as the Fullerton College fans were hoping for that give and go. But a timeout is taken by Coach Gabriel Martinez, and his team will reset over at the middle of the pool.
Yeah, and you really have to, you look at Aratam, both of us looked at each other. She makes that casual little catch in her hand. And, you know, Gabe has been, I don't know, not happy during this game. Is that putting it mildly?
You know, it's a good point you bring up there, because usually what we'll see in these situations, if his team is up, we'll look over at him, he'll smile, he'll clap his hands if there's a missed opportunity, lots of communication with everyone. But today it just seems like you mentioned, not happy, maybe a little bit of frustration from everyone in on the Fullerton College squad, because for the most part, what they're used to being able to set up, what they're used to being able to move up and down the pool at ease, has been taken away from them. And they just have had a little bit of trouble trying to get themselves into the spots that they want to be in. Now, yes, they do have the lead. They're still up 10-4 here in the fourth quarter with 6:30 left, but it's the way that they're up that it seems like Coach Gabriel Martinez isn't thrilled with at the moment.
Yeah, and you don't see him going as deep on his bench as we normally see him go, so it's looked like he's looking at his normal starters just saying, I'm going to keep you in the pool all day if you can't do better.
Beautiful setup there for Fullerton College. That goal is going to end up reading Amanda Ellerbrock from Adriana Wong and Jordan Lughart at the top of the point. You saw that, Mark, and it's just one-touch passes from 3 different players, or at least a one-touch that leads to a shot. And it goes tic-tac-toe and in the goal for an 11-4 lead for Fullerton College.
Timeout, and then picturesque in the pool is what the Hornets do.
You see the setup there that Calypso Fish is taking a look at. Goes to the right side of the pool where Salerno will take over. Salerno trying to get out and away from Macy Schneip. Schneip up ahead. We'll watch it go to Adriana Wong, and Wong in the clear is able to get a goal.
And let's go back and talk about that, because what Nikki Salerno does is outswim her opponent. By outswimming her opponent, she brings the defense in her direction of the pool. That opens up Wong in the middle and allows Wong to have a clear shot one-on-one against the goalie.
One thing to also notice there, Mark, is the fact that Salerno, even while beating her opponent in behind on the swim, she is able to pick up her head and notice where her teammate is and catch her in stride. There's Salerno trying to pressure. A little bit of space there as Spruce tries to get away. Nearly a takeaway there for Riley Jackson. Jackson not able to get to it in time as it goes back to Schneip. Schneip will see the shot clock expire, and Fullerton College will take over and scoot it all the way back to Airtown. Coming up on 5 to play here in the fourth as Nada Torres will get the ball inside. Tries to take a shot, but instead it ends up being a foul, so Fullerton will have to reset. They do keep possession and a fresh shot clock, but it moves over to Ellerbrock. Ellerbrock's going to take the point now. Salerno goes all the way wide to Wong. Wong far side. Wong looks for Riley Jackson. Jackson was taking a move towards the center. Goes over to Salerno. Back to Ellerbrock. Wong. Salerno, Jackson, double tipped, it's in.
Another assist for Wong, and again, it's her heyday in the water right now, because everything she's touching is either going in the goal or finding somebody who can put it in the goal for this Hornet team, as they're now up by 9, 13-4 over the Bobcats.
4:40 on the clock here in the fourth. You saw Saddleback, Mark, just start to creep their way back into it. At one point, it was a 6-3 game, and then Fullerton College has just pulled away in the third quarter and the start of the fourth. Far side, this ball is going to scoot its way over to Abrahamian. Abrahamian looking for someone. There's a save made by Airtem once more, and this time it will go against Spruce. Jen Jaytrek was also there, looking for a chance. Now inside it goes to Torres. Torres on the turn, gets it taken away. Schneip goes back and is able to high pressure take it away from Nada Torres. Coach Martinez asking for a foul inside. Officials confer with one another and say that there is no foul to be called, as Horner is going to bring the ball up against Nada Torres. 8 seconds on the shot clock. On the right, it goes to Schneip. Another save for Airtem, who has been really good in this one.
Yeah, I mean, you realize it was 2-2 in the first quarter. It's now 13-4. They've only scored 2 more goals in this entire game since the first quarter.
Outscoring them 11-2 from the start of the second until midway through the fourth. We're just a shade over midway, actually, yes. We're sitting at 3:12 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Shot clock expiring on Fullerton, which means that the Bobcats will take over and they'll move it over to Spruce. Spruce trying to work out and fast. Nice pass to get it up to Schneip. Ellerbrock gets called for it. Far side, big battle taking place will lead to an exclusion, and it's going to end up sending off Alexandra Halushka. Halushka will have to watch on as this goes over to Schneip. Schneip looking for a teammate. Schneip over towards her left to Spruth. Spruth to the top, it goes to Horner. Horner, far side of the pool, looking for someone. Looking for a chance to go to Abu Salama, who takes a shot looking for the right post, and it will end up going too far. Airtim out and away. You were talking about the bench for Fullerton College. They get an opportunity to work here as Lechuga will bring it up, looking for someone that ends up going wide. A chance for Halushka on the left hand, and it will end up poking its way wide of the left post.
Yeah, and when you looked at Halushka, she rushed her shot just a little, feeling the presence of the defender behind her.
13-4 is our score. Under 2 minutes to play as the Bobcats getting pressured heavily. Here's Lechuga. Lechuga trying to take that one away. It will end up being a foul with 3 seconds on the shot clock. Bobcats have to get it away in a hurry. And it will end up leading to yet another foul. So another opportunity. Shot clock goes off, and Airtem will parry that away once more.
Gabe would like a few more calls in the direction of the Hornets. He's not getting them, but at the end of the day, he's up by 9.
Airtem, far side, finds Halushka. Halushka off the skip. Under a minute and a half to play in this one as Lechuga will swim up with it. Lechuga wants Nada Torres. Torres working with it, gets that one to go crossbar and in. Nada Torres, if there's one word to describe her shots in this one, Mark, it has been a violent shot that she has. When that ball comes off her hands and goes towards the goal, it has pace and power to it.
Yeah, and she's gone down low and turned quickly on it. But it all starts with the defense, and you saw what happened at the beginning of the game. You and her sort of looked at each other and went, and the defense has played stalwart all day, no matter who Gabe's had in the pool. The defense has been smothering for this Hornet team against the Bobcats.
Under 1:15 to play in this one as Horner is going to bring the ball up. Takes a shot. Airtem gets that off her hand, off the crossbar and down. And the medal mark has been a friend to no one on either side in this game. Jayevsky gets that one poked away from her. She'll have to turn it over. Waste a little bit of clock there as Abu Salama is going to bring it up. Lechuga will take over. Fullerton College with 45 seconds to play and a full shot clock to work with. They'll move it on back to Airtem. And Airtem is going to be more than content to just hold on to this ball as long as she possibly can and take us towards the end of this one.
Well, Ryan, I like the fact that I said they averaged 1.2 goals per quarter. You look at it right now, that would be 4.8. They're at 4. And if we add up the amount of saves that Airtam had as this game comes to a close, well, for having 9 to 10 saves in this game.
We were talking about Alex Airtem and her save percentage before the broadcast started. She now has over 160 saves to her credit, with a save percentage of over 66%, which is fantastic in community college water polo. As this one comes to an end and a final of 14-4, Fullerton College will take the win over top of the Bobcats by a total of 10 points or 10 goals. And Mark, when you look at it, Fullerton College in this one struggled initially in the first quarter, found their stride in the second, and then dominated in the third and fourth.
Well, I'm going to give Adriana Wong is going to be my player of this game for the Fullerton College Hornets, with a close backup by Airtam at goalie, because she was pretty spectacular there. And then the sub prize goes to Gabe Martinez, who wasn't happy, and he stayed with his starters almost the entire game. Here, normally we see him go deep. Jerry, we were talking about it. Adriana Wong, player of the game. Airtam, number 2. And then give Gabe Martinez a little love because he looked at his starters and said, swim, swim, swim. you're not coming out like you normally do. Those are my 3 stars for this game.
And I'd have to agree with you on that. I thought Airtime did a great job in goal today. She was very, very communicative with everyone out there. While they did start off a little bumpy, and obviously we saw Coach Martinez a little unhappy with how they started, but they were able to wind it back up and fine-tune everything to get themselves into a great victory today. And a great job by Adriana Wong, finding herself, moving up and down the pool, finding those open lanes, and she had a great game today. I'd agree with you.
Ryan, you've been around a long, though. I haven't seen the Hornets start this slow. Give the Bobcats credit, or the Hornets just needed a jump start?
No, I think you have to give the Bobcats credit in this one. You saw how high of pressure they were able to enforce early on in this one. That first quarter went completely to the Bobcats' defensive prowess because they were pushing up towards the middle part of the pool. They didn't even allow Fullerton College to get their points, the ball, with a lot of easy, comfortable possession until you were already looking at less than 15 seconds on the shot clock. Saddleback was able to impose themselves defensively on Fullerton College until late in the shot clock, and Fullerton didn't have room to be able to move the ball from flat to flat, from one wing over towards the other like they normally do. So you have to give it to Saddleback and how well they were able to dictate the flow of things in the first quarter of play. Now, when you move over to the second, Fullerton College, well, for the most part, that was just them asserting themselves as one of the top teams in the, not only in the state of California, but also in the entire nation as well. But I have to give a lot of credit to the Bobcats and the way that they were able to put pressure on Fullerton College throughout the entirety of this matchup, because they never allowed Fullerton College to be comfortable. And it goes back to what you were saying, Mark. They had to keep in their starters for the majority of this game just based on how well Saddleback was able to pressure them.
Cherry, you played sports. Have you ever been around a coach that looked at the starters and said, you don't get to come off the field, you got to keep playing till you prove to me, like you saw from Gabe Martinez today?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I played lacrosse, so there was definitely some, higher competition matchups where the starters, we probably didn't step off the field once because situations just don't allow us to, get into that position. But overall, in some of the games that we should have easily won, I mean, he kept us out there because there's no reason we should have been playing to that lower level as some of these other teams. But today I thought the Hornets did a great job. Maybe not so much in the first half. They could have stumbled a little bit more. Excuse me, they stumbled a little bit.
They did stumble.
They did stumble a little bit, just like how I did, But I actually got a chance to listen to Saddleback's coach during that first, in between the first quarter and the second quarter. And she had mentioned, I like the way we're playing. I don't really care about the score right now. I like the way that we're pressing on the Fullerton College Hornets, and I like the way that we're moving the ball around. And like you had mentioned, Ryan, a lot of that first quarter, they were finding those in and outs and catching Fullerton out of position. But I thought they played a great game, and I got a little worried in the beginning that this might be a little bit of a closer game than we had seen previously than some other matchups that the Hornets had had.
So that's going to do it for us here from the Fullerton College pool. A final score of 14-4 as Fullerton College once again is going to move up to 18-1. And on the other side, Saddleback will end up dropping to a grand total of 11-9. So as we finish off here, for Jerry Roque, Mark Pavlovich, I am Ryan Osborne, thanking you for joining us. Once again, our final, the Hornets 14, the Bobcats 4. You've been watching Fullerton College Water Polo here on 90.1 KBPK.